What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Phil Taitt Show. Today I'm joined with guest Sharon Carpenter. She's been seen on the BET News Brief as well as Revolt TV and Global Grind. She has so many nuggets in store for you. She's a British star. She's a wonderful accent. She's beautiful. I can't wait for you to meet her. She's also the producer of The Gossip Game, which has been seen on VH1, which followed a whole bunch of correspondence. This lady has so much in store for you. I look up to her. Guys, check out Miss Sharon Carpenter. Miss Sharon Carpenter, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
It's so good. I love the accent. You look beautiful today.
Thank you. I love your jacket, by the way.
I'm trying to keep up with you.
Sweetheart.
Who are you? Who is Sharon?
Let me see how best I can answer that. I mean, Sharon is a woman from the UK. I came over here initially to go to school. I actually didn't know anyone in New York City. I'd never even visited New York. But growing up in the UK, I just always had a passion for the music and the entertainment scene coming out of the US. And a lot of people around me when I was growing up in England and you know, when I was a teen, people were kind of settling for, you know, the first job that they got or the first person that they get into a relationship where they settle down and get married. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I always felt like I wanted more. I really wanted to live my life and see what was out there and experience things and travel and that kind of thing. And that's one of the reasons I ended up coming to New York and really taking a chance, because as I said, I didn't know one person when I came over here. But there was something about New York that was calling me. And once I got here, I felt like, okay, this is a good fit. Everyone's here on a mission to succeed.
Yes.
Everyone's very career focused.
Yeah, I know that as New Yorkers, we hustle and we bustle. Everyone's here on a mission, got a task to do, has something to do, trying to get to the next level.
Exactly.
I'm sure before you left England, there was people that were saying to you, why go? Or you're a beautiful girl, why not just model and have a successful career doing that? Why did you choose journalism?
I've just always had a lot to say. You know? I've just had a lot to say, so I don't want to just be looked at. Like I want my voice to be heard.
Of course.
You know? I feel like I always felt like I had a lot to offer as far as what was going on in my mind.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Brain, like, you know, my mum and stepdad are doctors. My mum just always drove it into my head to be an independent woman and to, you know, be successful in my career, whatever it. I mean, she was very like flexible with regards to letting me follow the direction I wanted to go in, you know, which was great. But you know, she was always one to say, you know, use your brain. You've got a brain, use it.
I like that.
So, and she still does.
So you studied journalism here in the States. You went to Pace University.
Well, studied business.
Sorry.
I actually just ended up kind of getting into journalism really just through experiencing it. And I had the opportunity while I was in school to host a public access show. And we were just talking before the camera started rolling about that and how it can be a really, really great way to get into the industry. And also, you know, YouTube shows like what you're doing. I mean, there are so many different ways to kind of get your experience nowadays with hosting and journalism and that sort of thing. So that's a great thing. But so I was hosting a public access show and used to go around interviewing different celebrities, Snoop, Wyclef, Nas, like a lot of big names. And people used to say to me after the interviews, people who would stand around and watch, because some of the other shows would be there and watch half the time. They'd be like, wow, that was a great interview and that was really insightful. And I realized, okay, I have somewhat of a gift and I really enjoyed it. And then I ended up meeting someone who became a mentor of mine. He was actually the news director of a local newscast. And I was at an event with a public access show and it was crazy. And it was like, I can't even remember exactly what it was. It was a album release party for somebody. It was big, there were a lot of stars there. And it was so hectic backstage. And I remember the news director came over and he was like, you know, anyone who can handle themselves, because I was getting everything I needed. He was like, anyone who can handle themselves in this kind of crazy environment and get everything they need, like they should be in journalism.
When you were on this public access station, it's not let's say like a BET or a VH1. But how did you feel? Did you feel confident at the time while you were still getting your feet wet in the industry and it still being on like a more local channel on TV?
Well, I really appreciated it. I really appreciated the opportunity. And I mean, the funny thing is, even though it's public access and it is on a much smaller scale, people used to come up to me all the time over that public access show. Hey, aren't you the girl from? Yeah. So I never looked at it as, oh, this is too small for me at all. I looked at this as, wow, this is such an amazing opportunity. I'm really getting to do some great interviews with some amazing people. You hear about overnight sensations, and you know what they say, it takes 10 years to be an overnight sensation. Like, people don't think about all the hard work that people have put in behind the scenes and all the grind that it's taken to get to that point. So, no, I think people need to be grateful for every experience and every opportunity, and it will come. You know, as long as you put in the hard work, as long as you are, you know, you're dedicated to your craft, you're growing, you're getting better with time and that sort of thing, and you've got that determination, it's going to happen.
I thank you. I thank you for that.
Yeah, no,
and
it's true.
And what makes Sharon's reporting style so different from so many hundreds of reporters and correspondents, from Good Morning America to even the Arise Network to even BET? What makes Sharon stand out?
I go into every interview trying to get something new out of a person. So I think there are a lot of people out there. I think it's a common thing for people to kind of ask the same questions over and over and over again. These are the obvious questions. When's the album coming out? You know, like those sorts of things. Why? What was it about this movie that made you want to get involved? Like, I hear the same questions over and over and over again. And I think, you know, when people really, really do their research before they do an interview, I think they're going to come up with other questions that are more interesting and that are going to be even more insightful. And then, you know, I'm all about breaking news, so I like to get new information out of people that's never been heard before. So it's that. And then, you know, you've got your shock jocks out there. I'm not a shock jock. I'm not afraid to ask the tough questions, and I think that's very, very important. I think, you know, we hear a lot of interviews and we hear a lot of softball questions, especially when it comes to big celebrities, but I think as a journalist, you have to not be afraid to ask the questions that may make somebody feel uncomfortable. But my approach is, you know, don't do it in a way, like I'm not going straight for the jugular. I'm not trying to attack the person that I'm interviewing. You know, I'm asking them you know, I'm not here to judge them. I'm here to find out the facts.
Gotcha.
And I think when they sense that, which they do, then they're willing to open up.
And then there's a level of comfortability within that.
Exactly. There's a certain level of comfort and approachability and that sort of thing that I try to bring. I always try to make someone feel, you know, comfortable before an interview as well. You know, talk a little bit maybe before the cameras start rolling. I think that can help.
I have to shed light on that you have been on the Wendy Williams show many times.
Yeah.
And you do sit on panel discussions with Wendy. Is Wendy someone you look up to?
Oh, I love Wendy. I love Wendy. I think she has achieved a goal that is very, very difficult, and that is having a successful talk show.
1,000 episodes.
Yes, a very successful talk show, because if you think about it, how many people out there who are really good talents, you know, very, very talented personalities, but their shows just haven't worked.
They haven't.
So you've got Anderson Cooper, you've got Katie Couric, you've got Queen Latifah. I mean, the list of Bethany Frankel. What I love about Wendy, she's so personable, she's funny, she's not afraid to go there, you know, and, you know, she's all about the hot talk and the hot gossip, and who doesn't want to hear about that?
That's the truth.
So,
That's the truth. So I first saw you on my television when you hosted the BET Nightly News.
We used to do the news updates that would come on.
Yeah.
BET News Briefs.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you were the first British host.
Yes.
Of that show. How did that feel?
Yes. It felt good. It felt good. And I think, as you were saying earlier, the fact that I have an English accent, I think helps me stand out, which is a great thing. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people in the UK show me so much love, like, wow, Sharon, you've achieved so much. And a lot of the big personalities in the UK as well have reached out to me and said, you know,
congrats.
Great job, Sharon, congratulations. Because they know it can be, it's hard to go to another country and kind of make a new life for yourself, and then as a foreigner, you know, achieve a certain amount of success.
And you made a name for yourself. You came all the way from London. You hopped on that good old plane, crossed the pond, came to school here, and you linked up with the people who you needed to get in touch with, and you put in the work to get to the level in which you are today.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it is exactly that, is kind of linking, because I didn't know anyone when I was here, but I made sure to kind of just be out and to network. I mean, networking, as you know, is extremely, extremely important. And they say it's about who you know, but it's also about who knows you.
That's a
right?
fact. That's a fact.
Very, very important. Who knows you? Who are you making an impression on?
Before you went on reality TV, it was you with many other correspondents, and you were kind of showing, you know, day-to-day life. Were you prepared for going on a show such as that?
I don't know if you can ever be prepared, but it was different for me. It was very different for me because I'm usually quite a private person. So to open up my life and again, you know, just having that kind of traditional media background, traditional journalism, where it's not about my opinion, it's about just giving you the facts, Like, it's not about me, it's about the story, right? And so having to change that, and now, you know, I'm giving my opinion on things, and now people are getting to see more of my personality, and what's going on in my personal life. And that, it wasn't easy, but I will say this, it was an amazing experience. I really bonded with a lot of people through doing that show.
You're a correspondent. It's almost as if correspondents are like, they are celebrities today. You know, we have the Don Lemons, we have the Anderson Coopers, we have the Sharon Carpenters, we have the Wendy Williams, and they all cover stories in their own right, and they cover stories whether it's hardcore news, whether it's politics, or even entertainment.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a story or a particular segment of news that you've kind of just been like, oh, I don't want to give my opinion too much, or oh, I don't want to report on that? Can you shed any light on that?
What you don't want to do as a journalist is say something that is going to affect your storytelling capabilities in the future. But with that said, I do feel a lot more comfortable about, I mean, if you've watched Wendy Williams, it's all about my opinion, right? So I try to kind of differentiate between the two. There's Sharon, you know, just Sharon Carpenter, the person. And what I like to do is speak from facts. So I'll formulate an opinion, but it's not just because I think this just because. It's because I know what the facts are, and this is why that's my opinion. Got you. You know what I mean? And so that still plays into what real journalism is about.
Question. When you're at that desk,
yeah,
and when you're sitting next to your co-host, and your guest has walked away, and the lights turn off,
yeah,
have you ever taken in that moment to say, wow, Sharon, like, I really made it. I did it.
I probably don't do that often enough. The funny thing is, this is the funny thing. Like, a lot of the time is when I'm coming home from an event, or I'm coming home from the city, and I'm in a cab, and I'm driving over the bridge, right? And so I'm seeing the skyline, and I'm thinking about when I first came to New York, and I was just like in such awe of, you know, when we were driving over the Brooklyn Bridge and seeing the Manhattan skyline. I was just like, wow, you know, I'm here, like the city that never sleeps. And so sometimes when I'm driving and I think about like, wow, I've really accomplished some amazing things being here, that's when it hits me.
I think it's definitely important to take in those moments, because
Yeah.
I feel like certain moments, even interviewing you now, is a moment, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, coming from, you know, just having a camera with my friends and just wanting to get a guest, and now being able to interview prominent guests such as yourself, or a correspondent who's been in the game, and people who I look at on television and I'm like, what the heck did she do to get there? Because there's so many people, there's 25 people in my class trying to be a journalist.
Yeah.
There's 25 people in a class trying to be a music artist. And we look at these people on TV and we say, I know I can get there, but what did they do? Or what people did they connect with to get to that next level?
I'll give you one thing that they did. They didn't give up. I'm telling you, that is like the main thing.
Just before we go, has there been any correspondent or TV host, and what was the biggest piece of advice that they ever gave you?
very beginning of my career, when somebody told me my English accent was a distraction, and then basically, brushed everything off and was almost like, well, you're not going to make it, you've got an English accent. And it was someone who's in a powerful position. He knows who he is. He knows who he is. Because it's the same person who was there when Jay-Z came up to me and said, I absolutely love your English accent. Oh my God, you've got the most amazing accent. And then he came over to me. I was like, oh, you want to scream, right? I was like, remember what you said about my accent? He was like, well, I was wrong.
You truly made it, and I pay homage to you, because there's no excuse for people, especially who live in the big city, not to make it. As you said, continue to have that passion, continue to have that drive.
And just work hard. Passion plus hard work. I'm telling you. You're going to make it. Perseverance, those three things together.
And you good.
I have a tough skin as well, because people are going to be saying a lot of things.
That's the truth.
Some people might not like your voice, or some people might not like your look, or what you're wearing, or your hair's out of place, or whatever. But, brush it off. Take the constructive criticism and, brush off the haters, and just keep on doing it. Right?
Thanks, Sharon.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm just really elated, and I'm just so humbled for you to come, and just to, people pay for this advice to hear. People pay to hear how Jay-Z, how did you become a rapper? People pay to hear that from Beyonce, and just for me to get a glimpse of a wonderful, a beautiful, and a talented correspondent, I humbly thank you.
Well, thank you. It was fun. A lot of fun.
And hopefully I see you soon.
I appreciate you having me, definitely.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Well, that's all for the Phil Taitt Show. I want to thank the beautiful Sharon Carpenter for coming here to talk about her amazing story. She had so many nuggets for us, all the way from London to making it in the big city. We wish her nothing more than the best. And Sharon, just keep on doing what you're doing. That's all for the Phil Taitt Show, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye. What's up, everybody, and thank you so much for watching. This episode was brought to you by some of our friends, including... We define personal style as an individual's ability to express themselves creatively beyond social norms. Also, personal style allows individuals to differentiate between themselves through small or large details. Unregistered Style is a personal style blog that highlights fashion, trends, brands, and advice. Written by an elite team, it is the purpose of the Unregistered Style team to establish a repertoire of fashion within the online community. On a weekly basis, we feature individuals and brands with unique styles and looks. Losing a new loved one is never an easy thing to do, but by creating an everlasting symbol of the life in which they lived can be entrusted into Timeless Monuments, a monument company which seeks to help grieving families select personable stones for their loved ones. Losing a loved one is never easy, but take comfort in knowing that your family member will be in the loving hands of professionals. Terry Watson Funeral Directors, serving the tri-state area for over 10 years in the state of New York City, offering an array of services specialized in personalized, reposing, master skills in cosmetology and restorative art, creating a lasting picture that will soothe any discomfort. Terry Watson Funeral Directors can be found at Park Hill Funeral Home with spacious accommodations and parking for your family.